On December 22nd, 2020, Star Stable posted to their blog on StarStableEntertainment.com. This blog post was entitled Star Stable Year in Review, Coming Together in an Unstable Year. In this blog post, Star Stable talks about some of their favorite updates, one of which is Soul Riding with oREAGano. They state, "We innovated with an end-game activity that lets brave riders go on Soul Rider missions and, for the first time ever, lets players earn an exclusive horse, the Rune Runner." This Rune Runner I never actually earned this year, and I'm still working towards it. I'm not super interested in earning it right at this moment, but it was a great thing for Star Stable to add to the game, because before this, there was really no free horses. Some of the other updates that Star Stable marks as their favorites are Catherine's Memories, Starshine Ranch, Farrah's Workshop, and Idris's Halloween Masquerade. Idris's Halloween Masquerade is the one thing that I didn't participate in this list. I, for a while in the past semester of college, just didn't play Star Stable. I picked it back up in like late November, early December, and I've been training constantly ever since. The winter festivities have always been some of my favorite things to happen in Star Stable, so I was just really excited to partake in that. Then Star Stable talks about the horses that were released this past year. They state, "This year's most popular breed by a nose was the new American Quarter Horse," which doesn't surprise me whatsoever. The animations are beautiful on this horse, and I think Star Stable did an amazing job at truly capturing this beautiful Western breed. The Jorvik Wild Horse marks the first time that Star Stable has created a new breed from the ground up, and the love the team poured into this fluffy friend has proven a hit. You'll see a lot more of this breed. It's in its natural environment as the rest of the Wildwoods unfold in the coming months. This statement really excites me. I absolutely love the new Jorvik Wild Horse. It is by far my favorite horse breed to this day, and it's just gorgeous. I love how adorable and fluffy it is. I love that it has kind of a cute pony-like gait while still being a nice, large, more draft-like breed, and I think they did an amazing job with the mane. I have seen some people complain about the new Frisian's mane and the fact that it's very choppy, but the new Jorvik Wild Horse shows that Star Stable really can do amazing things with mane textures in an online game that can run on just about any system, which is really impressive. Another part that I would like to point out in this statement is that Star Stable talks about expanding Wildwoods, and that's super, super exciting. I love Mistfall. I've always loved Mistfall ever since it was released, and my stable has been in Dundle for pretty much since Mistfall has been released, just because it's so pretty and I love the music in the area. So I'm really excited to see the rest of Wildwoods get expanded and how they're actually going to do that, because right now Redwood Point is pretty much just in a bowl, so I'm really excited to see how they like expand the pathways and whatnot and exactly what they're gonna do. When it comes to magic horses with their transforming coats, your favorites this year were the lunar-inspired Isla and Umbra. For those of you who wish you had more control over when each coat is displayed, stay tuned for good news. I guess that means something. But first of all, I'm not a huge fan of magic horses. I've never been the biggest fan of the magic horses. I did really like the Shire model ones. Like all of those, I just thought they looked really good, and I have a couple of them myself. I believe those are called Windfells now. And I did play the game very briefly when Isla and Umbra were released. They were cute. I didn't have enough star coins to buy either of them, and they just weren't necessarily my favorites. Then Star Stable goes on to say, this year we also increased the variety of tack options in a big way. The new Western saddle is our most detailed bit of tack yet and pairs nicely with the all-new bridle and halter options, including bitless hackamore styles and brushing boots. The Marwari and Frisian debuted with exclusive new bridle styles that will eventually make their way to other breeds. This is also very exciting. It shows that Star Stable is really starting to take our interest into consideration. I know a lot of people wanted updates to the Western tack for a long time, just because it wasn't that great. I mean, it worked, but our riders didn't fit very well in the tack, and it didn't fit the horses really well. But these new saddles look gorgeous. They really do look like Western saddles. I'm excited to see new versions of the Western saddle as well, because those of you that are actually active in the live horse world probably know that Western saddles vary quite a bit. They vary from a small sport saddle, which is kind of like what we have in the game right now, to a more hefty ranching saddle. And then there's also stuff like Australian saddles and Paso Fino saddles, and it's just really exciting to think of what might be to come. I'm also really excited for a new dressage saddle, which I feel like is just right around the corner. We have a new English close contact saddle. We have a new Western saddle. I feel like a dressage saddle is gonna come soon, just because we have the new Frisian, we have all of this other amazing new tack. We have to have that new dressage saddle soon, and I'm really excited for it. Another thing that I just love that came out of this year was the hackamore. I use the hackamore constantly. It looks good with just about any style of tack. Then Star Stable goes on to talk about Mistfall and more of Wild Woods. It's been 3 years since the last new area, Mistfall, opened up for exploration, so it was with much anticipation that we released the first part of a brand new area, the Wild Woods. You've helped Rowan and the other new members of the Jorvik Rangers, and you'll work with them again soon, but the Wild Woods are much bigger and stranger than the forest you've seen so far in Star Stable. Early next year, you'll cross the living bridge to experience a wild new side of Jorvik. I'm really hoping this means that we get even more Jorvik wild horses, maybe even different models as well, because I mean, they're just so cool. And I'm hoping maybe there's going to be special interactions with those Jorvik wild horses with the area, because that would be really cool as well. 2021 marks Star Stable's 10th year of bringing you horses and adventure. 10 years. We couldn't be more excited for Star Stable's future, and we're working hard to make sure it's a year to remember. So what else do we have cooking it for the year ahead? First up, in January, we are thrilled to share our first animated offering, Mistfall. The initial series of 10 episodes will be freely available and tells an all-new story of a girl's journey to Jorvik and features some familiar faces and voices along the way. I wonder if this means it's going to be kind of like an animated story that follows the same storyline that is present in Star Stable, because after all, in the very beginning, we were just some girl visiting a summer camp in Jorvik. So that I'm really excited to see this, even though I don't watch a whole lot of the outside content. We're hard at work preparing for the global launch of Star Stable on mobile. This isn't a new game. It's the same Star Stable you know and love on PC, on your phone. Same account, same collection of horses, same beautiful Jorvik to explore with friends. Currently in closed beta in Australia, playtesters are helping us work out bugs as our engineers take on the immense challenge of preparing for a global rollout. This is honestly really exciting for me. As many probably don't know, honestly, I am very much a trainer. I like buying horses and training them to level 15, racing, and competing in Star Stable. So being able to do that from my phone will be so convenient. So I'm just really excited about the mobile app. And also, every now and then I just like to check in, and I don't want to have to boot up my computer and start Star Stable just to check in. There's a lot more work going on behind the scenes that doesn't show up in weekly updates. Star Stable is a nearly 10-year-old game that became so much bigger than its founders ever imagined possible. We want to make sure Jorvik lives on for another 10 years and can keep up with your needs and the ever-changing gaming landscape. That means there's a lot of work with tools and tech that we're investing in now to ensure a stable future. 10 years really is a long time for a game to be going on and constantly being edited. And I can't say that I have played any game as long as I played Star Stable. I've been playing Star Stable since about 6 months after its release, I believe. I think it was around like mid-2012 when I started playing Star Stable. And Star Stable, it wasn't my first video game, I will go ahead and say that. I played stuff on my Wii, and I also played things like Club Penguin and Webkins, which are not very intense video games, but I did play games online and on the computer before then. but Star Stable was really the one that got me hooked. And it really is just the community and the actual storyline. I've fallen in love with quest-based games and MMOs since I've played Star Stable, and since I've played Star Stable, I've found other games that are not necessarily similar, but have similar backgrounds, or just are similar type of game, and it's really helped me find my type of game. And just, I can't believe that it's almost 10 years old. Thinking about all the other games I've played, they don't last for more than 5 years, it feels like. I play The Sims 4, and I believe that's been around for around 4 or 5 years, and they're already thinking about making a Sims 5. And that's just how games are. It's kind of like you have a game and then you have to make a sequel within 5 years. Whereas with Star Stable being an online game that's constantly updated, I don't think I play any game that's more updated than Star Stable. But playing a game that's constantly updated like Star Stable, it stays current, and the graphics get updated as systems get updated and as performance gets updated. It's all just, I don't know, it's awesome. There's a big milestone in racing coming up that we can't wait to celebrate with you. Races are one of the main ways you play Star Stable every day, and we want to improve the authenticity and the variety of options you'll encounter and make racing more rewarding. This is really, really exciting to me. I know I watched another video by another creator. I honestly can't remember who it was, but she had touched on the racing more rewarding part. In my opinion, I don't really care about racing being more rewarding unless it means that we get more XP for different races, because I am tired of just training one horse for 4 days straight. For me, it's very hard to do that because I get distracted so easily. But what I'm excited about is the actual updating part of the races, and I'm hoping that maybe they implement more of what we see in Starshine Ranch, where you have a notice board, you go up to the notice board and you can click 4 races at a time, and you don't have to like keep going back to the same person over and over to get new races. I think that would be much better, and honestly I just kind of want racing to go a little bit quicker, because spending about 2.5 hours a day in front of the computer racing and training my horses, it's not really realistic for me. I am a college student. I will soon be joining the workforce and eventually be moving out of my parents' house. Like, it's not easy to set aside 2.5 hours a day to just train mindlessly. Reflecting on the important role Jorvik plays as a virtual world to sustain very real human bonds with friends, we're looking at the role of writing clubs and how to improve that experience for everyone. This one isn't super interesting for me. I never really was into chatting and role-playing and clubs and anything. There was a brief period of time where I had a couple successful clubs running, but for the most part I play Star Stable on my own, so I can't really touch on this, and I feel like I couldn't really speculate anything, but let me know down in the comments what you think of the statement. On the story front, we have big things in the works. The villainous Dark Riders will at last steal the spotlight. They were teased last year, but this time we mean it. In addition to a visual glow up, you'll get to know these characters more intimately than ever before. That's also really exciting. I'm really happy with what Star Stable has been doing with the NPCs and how they've been updating them in the past few years. They all look really amazing, and I think they just, I don't know, they're definitely going to do a good job with it, just with how they've updated the other NPCs. Finally, and most importantly, we're revisiting the player model. Thank God. I have been asking for this for years. Since Star Stable was released, I was asking for an updated player model. They updated it a little bit around the same time that they created the first American Quarter Horse, but it really hasn't been updated since. The animations are really dry. It's a very stiff model. They don't move with the horse whatsoever. Please fix posting. We have been asking that since the game was released. Please fix posting. I know it's a difficult thing with server lag and whatnot and client-side lag, but please, I just want posting to be fixed. At least on my end, I want my character to be posting in the correct tempo to my horse. I don't really care about everybody else. I know it's really difficult with server-side lag and client lag, like I said, but if my character can post at the same tempo as my horse, we're good. Such a huge part of joining a virtual world like Star Stable is having an avatar that expresses who you want to be. We recognize how limited the current avatars are. They don't reflect our values or the diversity of our players. We hear you when you tell us how much this matters, and we totally agree. Now, looking at the current player models, there's really not much variation in skin tones. The skin tones don't, in my opinion, there's a lot of light skin tones, but there's not enough darker skin tones. I personally can't talk too much about this, I feel like, because I am a white female, but I do believe that there definitely needs to be more variation in skin tones and more options for skin tones. That is definitely the biggest thing for me. Also, I feel like the actual face molds of our characters don't fit the virtual world. I also want to see an update with makeup. That would be awesome. We had an update with hair, and the newer hairstyles look great, but I definitely think makeup needs a massive update. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we begin this journey and look forward to your thoughtful feedback in the process when we are ready to share. Updating the avatars is one of the greatest challenges we've ever taken on, but we're committed to getting it right. Star Stable, take your time, please. I just want this to look good. I want posting to be fixed. I want jumping to be fixed, because right now we are literally just throwing ourselves into our horses' necks. I know they were fixed a little bit, but now they just look stiff. I'm sorry. I just want our riders to look like they go with the horse. I don't know. The horses are so beautiful, but the riders and the avatars and characters and whatnot, they just don't look like they fit with the horses. The horses look like they're in a completely different world. It looks like the characters were just kind of thrown into the Star Stable realm, and they just don't go with it. They don't go with the same art style. There's much more in the works, but we have to save things for our amazing community team to share in the months to come, and we're still figuring out the path forward. 2020 changed us all in good ways and bad. We're leaning into that change, coming out of the year a stronger team committed to making sure the best is yet to come. Thank you for coming along for the ride. And thank you, Star Stable, for having such an amazing game. Like I said, I've been playing this game since like mid-2012. I've been playing this game for so long, and I've seen a lot of changes happen over the years. To put it into context, I pretty much joined the game, I think, around the same week that Golden Hills Valley was added. It was either Golden Hills Valley or the ponies. I remember when Frisians and Andalusians were added to the game very briefly. I also remember when saddlebag pets were added to the game. So I don't know what that says about you younger players, but I've been around for a while. I've certainly played this game for a long time. It really has changed the way I view video games, because it's honestly just such a beautiful game, and I've always enjoyed it so much. It really isn't just a game for 12-year-olds. A lot of people talk about that. It is a game geared at that like teenager age audience, but there's so much to offer for everyone. I've seriously gotten some of my guy friends to play the game, and they have legitimately said that it's a decent game. Like, come on. The game doesn't suck. The game is awesome, and I just love the Star Stable community so much. Everyone is so welcoming, and I am so excited to see what is to come. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know down below in the comments if you have any suggestions for future videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!